What's up, girl? Looking mighty fine tonight. See you all the time. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Faith and Whatever podcast. Today we are talking about Iron Fist. Super excited for this fictional superhero. He's coming to Netflix, and he is the last Defender. Is that correct?
Yeah, and I'm a little confused about how Punisher is going to work into this, because the original plan was to do the 4 Defenders,
right?
Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil, but in the reverse order, and then to have Defenders. But after, I guess, the second season of Daredevil, they announced they would be integrating a Punisher series. I don't know if that's going to come before or after Defenders.
Yeah, because Iron Fist drops in March. That's right.
You're right. In March
of next year. Chris, can you throw up the Iron Fist logo?
2017.
I will go find one
Behind us. So we have watched the trailer. We have watched all of the trailers, and some exclusive ones that may not be entirely available to the
given
public.
Directly to us by Netflix
from
and Marvel.
Netflix and Marvel. And
Yeah.
so I don't know. So well, go ahead. What are your first reactions? And let's go ahead and just get moving right away.
Well, the thing I was kind of worried about is, out of all of the Defenders, the fight scenes for Iron Fist have to be really great.
The best.
And after watching Luke Cage, I was afraid they weren't going to be very good, because, come on, guys, the Luke Cage fight scenes are awful.
Right.
They are just terrible.
Right.
They're less than mediocre. And so that's the thing I was looking out for. I was watching these teaser trailers, and I was looking for hints on whether we're going to have the same mediocre fight scenes or not. And the little they showed, they looked like they were much more intense fight scenes, very kung fu oriented fight scenes, and visceral and intense.
Yeah.
Something that some commenter on YouTube brought up that Chris found that Chris loves is that, I mean, when you kind of stand back and you look at the Defenders that Netflix and Marvel has set up, it looks like we have another guy who can punch good, who will join the other people who can punch good for a team of people who punch good.
Yep.
Right? Because, and it made me realize that it seemed like Marvel was more interested in diversifying the characters, that they forgot that their powers should probably be diversified. And for the first time ever in a team of superheroes, the guy with good senses will have the best powers. Daredevil.
He'll be the leader.
Yeah, he'll be like the most unique character, having good senses. Right, having strong senses. I can hear and smell well.
Yeah, he's like a human animal.
All right, guys, here's the plan. We're going to go at him and punch him.
Daredevil.
What if they get back up? Punch them.
Daredevil, you stand watch. So the thing I don't like about this is it's just another white character that's kind of stealing kung fu, and so we're doing all this whitewashing again of more martial arts and stuff, and I think that's a little bit annoying. I thought Netflix did a great job with Luke Cage of not having that problem. I'm totally kidding.
Now, technically, this is an opportunity where they probably could have chosen not to whitewash the character, but the comic book character is a whitewash.
Yeah,
it's basically some white guy is the next generation of a series of like Asian superpowered people who have the power of the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So even in the comic book, it's kind of a whitewash.
And so but Spider-Man was also white in the comic book, and they created an alternate universe.
And in the comic book they did, yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm just kidding. I totally don't care.
And that's why you hate Marco Polo, right?
And I hate Marco Polo because Marco Polo is a crappy actor.
And I could never play that game.
And he's I always cheated.
Daredevil always wins.
Still cheat. I cheat with my junior hires. So I'm excited for this. And that's the biggest thing that I wanted to join in with you on. All you really see, again, I like that they don't reveal too much in the trailer. It doesn't tell you too much about what's going on. His tattoo at the very end looks dumb. It looks awful. It
looks like a Sharpie.
It looks like somebody hinted it on. Whoa. That's a Caddyshack reference.
Sure.
If you know what Caddyshack is. If you don't, you should quit the internet. So that looks other than the tattoo looking dumb and him kind of making me think of John Heder and feeling like I should vote for Napoleon Dynamite.
Pedro, you vote for Pedro.
Yeah. And so I'm excited to see him I'm excited to see John Heder as a superhero.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. So I'll watch this again like we watch every other Marvel thing for the sake of this show and good quality reviews. But the fight scenes look rad.
Yeah.
As a guy who was introduced to terrible kung fu movies because of my oldest brother.
What? They're classics.
Some of them are classics. Rumble in the Bronx is probably one of my favorite
Jet
movies
Li's
still.
first movie ever, where he eats a dog.
And
That's just the entirety of the movie.
he's just
It's really scary.
it's just like mom and dad. So it'll be nice to see kung fu being done well if it's actually done well.
Let's hope it is.
There, yeah. So that's gonna be for me what the biggest thing hinges on my enjoyment of this, how well the fight scenes are, because the whole thing revolves around this fight scene.
fighting.
I didn't mind it as much as in Luke Cage's and in Jessica Jones because they're not that, right? But this guy trained in the Himalayas with kung fu masters.
Luke Cage was bad though.
It doesn't bother me.
Jessica Jones was a little corny, but it worked.
Yeah.
Luke Cage fight scenes were so bad.
And they didn't.
He would like 4 people would run at him, and he'd push the front one, and then they'd all fall down like dominoes and not get back up.
And
Like, that's all it took.
They did get back up a little bit in some of them, but that doesn't bother me because he wasn't. He's not meant to be a good fighter, right? And that kind of thing. That's not the most essential part of his powers and who he is. Whatever.
He punches good. That's his power.
And yeah, well, he's invincible.
He takes punches good.
Yeah,
so
he
he's
takes.
different
So
than the other ones.
he, to me, is kind of like the Homer Simpson of the crew, right? Where he can just stand and take punches in the face, and
That's
then
it,
eventually
Joe.
the other guy gets tired, like when Homer becomes a boxer. But with this one, it'll be a little bit different. Chris, what do you think?
I think you guys covered it.
Well, here's the question I have, and Chris will let you answer it first. Is based on the trajectory, right? We've had enough Marvel Netflix shows to feel a trajectory. Based on the trajectory, what do you like? What's your expectation? A, what's your expectation, and B, what's your hope
If it's as good as the average of all the Marvel stuff, it'll be great.
of all the Marvel stuff or all the Netflix Marvel
All
stuff?
the Netflix Marvel stuff. Like
Okay.
if you averaged out Daredevil and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, and I have my problems with some of them, and actually I have problems with all of them.
I was gonna say.
But I have problems with everything. But if you take them as a whole
Okay.
and make an average out of it, it'll be great.
Okay. I kind of feel like there's I don't know. I thought when I watched the first season of Daredevil, I thought to myself, this is imperfect, but it's a good place to build and make the next products be better. And the only thing I haven't seen is season 2 of Daredevil, which
What?
I
That's
need.
the best thing they've done.
Well, maybe that's part of my problem because for me the trajectory now goes Jessica Jones and then Luke Cage, and what I see here is you guys didn't really build upon your product very well,
Yeah.
and so that makes me worried for Iron Fist. I don't know, and I'm curious about what they've seemed to do with each of these Netflix Marvel characters is try to come up with a really deep character flaw for the character, and I'm wondering they've what's left.
Well, that's why I have high hopes for this one because it looks like they're getting back to the good fighting.
Yeah.
Because Jessica Jones, I mean, they spent, 13 episodes on this whole, this bad guy whose powers can be defeated by an iPod, as I've pointed out before. And I understand they're trying to do this whole meta story and everything,
Yeah.
but it's a superhero show.
You know what I need? I think
Just be superhero-y.
other than a good story, B, I need a villain who can physically engage these characters.
Right, and that's one of the problems, at least with the first half of Luke Cage. I've heard it gets better and that we get better villains.
Yeah, so I finished it.
Yeah, does it?
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
It's tight.
But that's the problem with like the first 3 or 4 episodes of Luke Cage is they shoot him with a rocket launcher and he's like, that's annoying.
Yeah. This is going to cause me to reflect on my history. That's how that works out.
Yeah. No, it's great, dude. It gets way great. Way great. So, any other thoughts before we...
What do you need to like Iron Fist? What's missing?
A drinking problem.
Okay. So you need Jessica Jones.
No, I don't need any. I don't know. I don't have the same expectations when I go in and watch it. I don't think I'm naturally as critical of a human being as you guys are, and so I think that makes.
I am a
more,
critical human being.
I think that makes me more qualified to make calls on stuff. No, yes, but if he could, if the dialogue could be better than Luke Cage, I would be excited about that. The dialogue in Luke Cage started great, and then they kill Pops, and then it gets terrible after that. So if the dialogue could be a little bit better, if the fight scenes
Spoiler alert.
could be sharper. Oh, have you guys not got there yet?
No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no.
Oh, okay.
It's like in the second episode.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If you guys could, or if they could make the fight scenes a little sharper than Luke Cage, and if they could have just no annoying sidekicks from Daredevil,
Oh, yeah.
then to
Josh hates
to
that
me
guy.
that's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I only want those three things.
What about annoying ex-boyfriends?
No.
No, I'm not sure what they were trying to get at, but in the trailer, they were kind of advertising a psychosis. I had hoped that they'd maybe do well by the psychosis situation and really integrate that into the story very well too. Like if that's kind of what they were hinting at in the very first teaser trailer. So okay, well I guess with that we'll wrap up.
So if you like this video, we would love to hear your thoughts below in the comments. Do us a favor, give it a thumbs up and share it. For sure, subscribe to the channel. We bring new videos every week, and we're dropping content all the time. I'm at Josh_Carmen. Jamothy is at JamesYuile, and Chris is at Marion Ranch on Twitter. And you can find us at faithandwhatever.com. Thanks so much.
See ya.